It's just me and Ken. It's going to be a short one, but we're going to talk a little bit about all that lore that was dropped right there at the very end. That maybe Gostrom. That could be why Gostrom is in a civil war with Clyde, is because originally Gostrom was an SSA rogue AI.
I believe
a rogue RI.
Yeah.
So Gostrom does not believe in the same stuff that the rest of the Clyde do because of Gostrom's origin.
Which makes me want to sort of support it. It seems like I'm going down a rabbit hole in the wrong way. But
that I think makes you as Ken support it, but with Dolby, because Dolby doesn't trust it at all.
Well, Dolby loves anything that hurts the Clad, and his one-track mind, and you get this probably more than most.
My enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, you get this. Well, that, and the Dolby doesn't. I don't believe in the aliens at all. I mean, not even a little bit, because that's what I've been told. I have the lowest sec clearance, and I think the alien stuff was so far above it. It's just what I've been told and indoctrinated. And until I'm fighting aliens 1-on-1 or 10-on-1, I don't believe it. And even then, I might not believe it. Like it's a machine. It's a Johnny 25.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No. Yeah. Skip believes it because Skip he read the files.
Right.
So he knows that even though they say that it's not out there, it actually is. And that also plays more into Skip being a free thinker as opposed to as indoctrinated as Dolby is, that he knows that there's secrets kept from us. And so when he sees that there's proof, that he knows that it's real. Although he does not know what that skull is, because that skull didn't play into any of the pictures that he saw.
Sure.
So,
well, it was familiar to Dolby.
Yeah.
It was something out of a nightmare out of when he was a kid or something like that. So
yeah, the boogeyman.
Yeah, like a boogeyman.
Well, that's also Voidborn versus Martian.
Sure.
So
I connected with some lore. That was weird.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, but it's
and then the Thurgic weapons were neat. The gun and I guess those are probably. Do you think it's a gun that shoots things and explodes, or do you think it has some other purpose?
I don't know on that. Skip trace. If I was more focused on the skull.
Yeah.
Because I saw the skull and then saw Burgess holding it, and I thought maybe it was a Krisk. And so I was more focused on it, so I wasn't paying attention when he was playing around with the gun. But Skip could figure that gun out.
Mm-hmm.
That could be, because Skip's armament. So I don't think that would be a problem for Skip to figure out how that gun worked.
Sure. I'm sure of it. That I felt was kind of a tie into the world of Craster at the very least. This part, it's starting to get the horror is starting. We've been in horror, but it's a different kind of horror. It's
right. It's not a supernatural horror.
Yeah, it's been like a World War II war horror. Instead of a monsters and aliens.
Yeah. When he started describing the bullet, I thought of the bullets from Richmond Faye that had spirits in them, and well, in Red Writ, the ones that have spirits.
Yeah.
Spirits in them. So that's what I thought when he started to describe the bullets.
Sure. I wonder if they're anything like the bullets that the Clad gave us. Because the Clad gave us a little ammo. I think that'd be... It was on the ship when we negotiated with them. Yeah. They hooked us up, and I don't know why they gave us 1 ammo, but they gave us 2 med kits and 1 ammo for some reason.
I don't remember that.
It was right as we were getting on the escape pod.
Yeah, but I wasn't on the ship. You guys were.
Oh yeah,
I was on.
That's right.
So I was on D's nuts, trying to keep it from crashing.
I think if I wasn't completely knocked out, I don't know. At the end, I was just kind of like a little tired. I would have. I meant to mention something about it.
About
the ammo that I found that the Clad gave us, but I kind of didn't want. It's like I'm running into a lot of issues where I want to say things, and it's similar to what Jazzi Cabbage went through today with his character, and I don't want to say them because I feel like it should be a secret. Some of it, like Susan shouldn't really know about our connection to Gostrom. And Grimm should definitely not know about our connection to Gostrom, because that would be against the law. And so I think the main reason why Dolby wanted to leave so badly is that he's having trouble keeping up with his lies.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm looking, and I'm having trouble. I'm looking at 20 things on the page of facts and information, and it's just like, what do I want to tell who and how?
Right.
Because it all means something, and I get the feeling that, you know, that's what Jazzi Cabbage is doing. He's got a whole scenario that kind of shook me a little bit. It's like, oh, the citizen should leave, and it's like that's not who we are. I mean,
yeah.
What'd you think about that?
Oh, it fits with Jazzi Cabbage.
Sure.
I mean, well, it fits with the way Cherokee Sue has been
Cherokee
playing.
Sue.
Yeah, so I didn't like it. That didn't like for Skip Trace. It was like, be careful what you say, because he's treading into territory. But like, I thought it was in line and in character with Cherokee Sue.
Sure.
And now
I do back down with him a lot, in part because he's a primer. Yeah. And I'm Voidborn, so he's got like a status thing on the way that Dolby sees. So I mean, that's why he gets away with just about everything.
Yeah. That was one thing that I thought was at the end, the reason he could maybe open the boxes was because he was a primer. Was kind of my thoughts, that it wasn't, well, I know it wasn't the security, but me as the player knows it wasn't the security level. It was due to his genetics, but I don't think it necessarily was his genetics of his family line, just more so that it was that he's an actual primer as opposed to a Voidborn or a Martian.
Mm-hmm. Well, that makes sense. And we've definitely discussed how, like, I should not be in charge 99. Like, it's weird that Dolby is in charge of this group of people who are from Mars and Luna and Prime. That goes against kind of the status of things, but it's not this, like, we're in a territory that Dolby does not think about. I don't think about that as with Dolby. It's like he knows if you point him in a direction and you give him some orders, that's what you do. If you're like, it's scary being not having any orders. And I think that is something I'd never experienced before, and role playing.
Yeah.
Or anything. It's like, oh, you're not giving orders. Well, this character needs orders. Like, I don't know what to do without them.
Yeah, that's where that's what Skip's been talking about the past 2 or 3 games is like the mission's over for him. This is not the part. This is the part where people sit and think too much, and it's not what Skip. It makes Skip too introspective, and he doesn't like that.
And I think there's something rotten at the core or Dolby thinks that, and we would have left if, like, it just things aren't sitting right.
Yeah.
But it's definitely time to go.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have any other thoughts? Anything that surprised you this episode?
Not really. I thought it was a good one. Everybody getting together, and especially the second half where we had everybody talking and figuring stuff out, I thought was really good.
Do you think we'll make it to Telmar ever? Or do you think that was just a red herring that we spent a whole half of an episode talking about?
No. Well, in all fairness, that was technically, it was a red herring to begin with, because it wasn't even on the table until after you conscripted, or until after you contracted Katrina as a mercenary. Then it just came on the table. So it's, in all fairness, it wasn't in the cards. Yeah. And that's the thing, whether or not Will planned in the week that from last week to this week, whether he planned anything for Trey Luna and that sort of stuff or not, we don't know.
Did you like the logic of why we needed to go, other than Katrina needed to get back? Did you think that argument was decent and convincing Susan to
but yeah, because if we pull down, this is a volatile area. If we were to go the Ansible here, like, I agreed with you completely on that. If we were to go the Ansible here, it's pulling, anybody could follow us. Everybody we know that everybody is coming here because of the first Ansible signal.
Sure. And we know that everybody's watching us. We know that eyes are on us, just because of Grimm's nature.
Yeah. I mean, not just Grimm. You've got Cleve, and fucking, well, we know Ramadan's coming, and however many other shipping companies that we don't know, that us as players don't know of, but Will's got written down somewhere.
Sure.
They've all heard the Ansible signal and are heading this way. So it's better to go somewhere else and try and access the Ansible than in the hotbed where people know there already may be one.
Right. And isn't the Ansible just in Confucius's, like, the node is in Confucius's? That's how Katrina accessed it.
That's how she accessed it, but I don't think that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Because Susan would have already taken you there. Susan knows where the actual, like, I don't know if this is how Will has it planned, but this is the way I would do it, is that there is an Ansible, but then you have terminals, different places that connect to it. So people who access the terminals don't necessarily know where the Ansible is.
Right.
Only the people who built the terminals know where it is, because it's such a high profile, high priority thing,
and it's
that you don't want.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't want the people knowing exactly where it is.
And it's kind of a blurry area for me. It's like I'm struggling with what I know as a player and what I don't know.
No.
You know, like I'm not sure that. I mean, I think Dolby would suspect it because it was clear enough that the Ansible was in Confucius's lair, but I'm not sure if Dolby would know that, and I don't know how to resolve that.
See, I don't think it's there. Like, to me, it's like the difference between us hopping on our computers to access the internet, but there actually being a server bank over here.
Yeah.
You know, that's like,
and maybe that's why the the information was corrupted, because there were people who had access to the terminals before the Ansible. Potentially,
right, yeah.
And maybe we're overthinking that as well. It's like, where do you stop overthinking?
Yeah, was just my idea on it, because like the sci-fi ideas.
Sure.
I had well, we'll say this now because it doesn't matter, but it's I don't know if this has been a concept in anything, but when we first got on the Clad ship, I thought it would have been really cool, since the Clad are computer people, if they were all just in the mainframe and there were a ton of bodies just lined up, and then like, so when they're on their ship, their conscious is running around the mainframe, and then when they need to, they come and plug themselves into a body, and the body comes out and talks to people. I thought would be a really cool concept. I don't know if it's been used in anything before, but I thought that would be neat for a computer type people.
Like, it's like renting one of those little scooters.
Yeah, I get kind of like when they need a body, there's just like tons of bodies, and they can come get into a spare body to go interact with people. But when they're on their own ship, they are the consciousness floating around through the mainframe.
I think that Stargate had those little aliens, those little short aliens that the Asgard. I don't know if you know anything about Stargate, but they kind of genetically modified themselves and would transfer body to body. And then I think nanobots, they kind of did that in Star Trek, where they transferred consciousness, where the nanobots could, I don't know, maybe not.
I don't know. I didn't watch either of those shows, to be honest, but that was just the thought. I didn't know if it was a thing that was out there or not. You ready to hop off here?
Yeah, it could be a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good talking. Do you think everybody went well? Everybody had a good time tonight? I didn't mind Jazzi and Maxxymumeffort popping in late. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, I'm glad that they showed up.
I do hope that, you know, I liked Hulker's notes. I thought that he did a really good job with the notes. I feel like we should at least post the notes and share them amongst ourselves. And I think we should post those notes in the data of the YouTube, because they're really great notes, and having them correspond to those episodes, I think that would be,
so people can read it and get a recap without watching 4 hours.
And so we don't have to recap so many times, because I think we recap a lot on our show. But anyway, next time there's when we start doing the Red Writ again, I'm gonna need a recap. I know where we are, but I don't know why we're there. And I think we're going to the house. We're going.
Oh, no, we were going to the lighthouse.
The lighthouse, but there was a monster there. And I don't think there's anything in the lighthouse, personally. But
we were trying to find his partner.
Yeah.
to see if his partner was still alive.
Probably not.
No, but that's where we were. I'm pretty sure that's why we were going there.
And then there was a house. Like, I think the hard part about starting the Red Writ again is going to be remembering all the names of the people.
It's the Butte house.
Yeah, the Buttes. That's great.
Yeah. The one with the cemetery and the weird underground section.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. That is technically burning because Andrea spent a pip to say that the fire caught the house on fire.
Yeah, isn't there a city throughout the... I mean, isn't there a fire kind of running wild throughout the city at this point?
No, it was just the...
warehouse that we set fire to.
Yeah.
I thought we set fire to Grimm's for some reason, but I don't think... Maybe we didn't.
No, I don't think so. But it was literally just them... They had a fire because they had a fire going at the grave place at the top, and it's embers from that caught the house on fire just by accident
in the middle of a snowstorm.
Yeah,
rainy snowstorm. Hella magic in those embers.
Yeah.
Well, it's good talking to you as always, and
you as well.
I look forward to next week and Thursday when we have a guest on our geeky gamer podcast.
Who do we have on Thursday? Do you know?
That's a good question. I think it's like a reverend. I'll tell you. I got it. Their name is... Oh, no, it's not a reverend. Kevin Burke.
Okay, so anybody who's watching this, if you want to come see Kevin Burke on Thursday for the Geeky Gamer podcast, come out.
Yeah.
So, night, everybody.
Good night.